popcorn. Movies, popcorn.
No, it's very interesting. Just before A Few Good Men opened, I was talking to Rob Reiner, and he expected you to open that film. He didn't expect Jack Nicholson to open it. He certainly didn't expect Demi Moore to open it. And what he actually said to me was that if, because of Tom, that film takes less than $15, $20 million in its first weekend, I'm going to send men round to his house to get the feet back and hurt him. Yeah. And that's what he said. Yeah. But this puts a big responsibility on you, doesn't it? I mean, you must be aware of that.
What the fuck do you want me to do? I need you to listen.
What I want you to do, Janet, is I want you to do your fucking job!
I am doing my fucking job, Frank. You fucking get on the phone.
Your so-called friend, you set a date. Let's say make it around 7:30. You call her on the phone.
That sounds like fun, Frank. I love seafood.
All right. Then I'll pick you up around 7.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, well, bye-bye, Janet. Now, you wait until about 10 o'clock. No earlier. You ring the bell. She answers the door. Pissed as hell, but finds you sobbing your eyes out.
What happened?
You explain to her between sobs
What happened?
that you were babysitting your neighbor's cat. It went into seizure.
I mean, I didn't...
You didn't realize that poor Pookie was a diabetic when you fed it the homemade cookies. You rushed it to the animal hospital. But unfortunately,
I rushed it.
by the time you got there,
As quickly as could. I mean, I
little
was
Pookie Pussy didn't make it.
I was crazy. And when I got there, I couldn't get anyone's attention. I'll never forget. It's just, you know, I mean, it's Paul. Just, and it was too late. It was too late.
Oh, God. So...
I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. Oh my God, I'm going to hell. But guys, this shit works. I know it sounds insane, but there is no girl alive that is gonna let you be alone in a situation like that. All right, moving on. Technique 2. Putting on a fight. Putting on a fight. Now, guys, this is not a knockdown, drag out, Frankie, God damn it, this shit just isn't working! Give me some pussy, bitch! Don't do that! Don't do that. Subtle. Remember, we are using reinforcement technique G on these women. Here's how. One day she calls you on the phone.
Marky.
Hey, Frank, it's Janet. I thought maybe you might want to grab a bite and see a movie.
You very directly say,
I know exactly what you did, Janet.
What?
now you want them to want you, but they will wonder. And let them wonder, because they will always wonder, what did I do? What could I have done? How should I behave to get this thing back? And if they call you back, oh, they want you. And they are asking for you to hurt them. And that is what you must do. That is what you must do, which is to punish them many, many times over.
Very well, sir. You scared me because you came running over here. I thought you were going to knock me down and beat me up.
Dave.
Then we'd have something, wouldn't we?
Dave, you're a father now. We can't do
that's
stuff
right. We
like
can't
that.
be doing that. No.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And a father to you as well. You have 2 kids, much older than mine, like 8 and 10, something like that.
9 and 11.
Yeah, what is that like, having kids? I don't know. Close, right?
Yeah, close enough.
What kind of stuff do you guys do?
you know, we go climbing, ride motorcycles.
Really? You go climbing?
Sure.
Like mountain sort of stuff?
Yeah, ropes and
Yeah.
climb up.
So actual technical climbs?
Technical climbs.
Like what peaks? Anything that we would know?
No, just walls right now. We're just practicing on walls. You know, rock walls.
But you
house.
yourself actually go out and climb mountains, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not a great climber, but I enjoy it.
How often do you go and where do you go?
Everywhere, you know, Colorado, you know, do some climbing there, and just different places in Europe.
And what is your fascination with that activity?
No.
Seems like a good
It's
question.
something that's it's very peaceful.
Yes.
It's relaxing.
Now, do you go with a large group?
No. No, I want a very strong person up there in case I fall. If the whole group goes, you know,
Then you go.
then we all go. You know,
Have you ever had a close call?
climbing. No.
And is it the kind of thing it takes more than one day to get to the summit? You camp along the way, or is it? I don't know.
No.
Is it me? Something wrong?
No, I haven't done the overnight. Sometimes certain walls take, you know, you sleep overnight. I haven't done that yet.
And
Some guys do that.
The highest elevation you've climbed?
Up at about, I guess, 14.5, something like that.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I remember, I didn't know anything about ACS, acute mountain sickness. Didn't know anything about it. And one time I went to Wyoming, and I'd never been to Wyoming before. And of course, once you get to Wyoming, it's like, oh my God, let's go, because there's so much stuff to do.
Yeah.
And so I was running and canoeing and climbing. And the next day, I was just like somebody had shut off my brainstem. And it was because I hadn't given myself time to acclimate to the change in elevation, and I exhausted myself.
That's what the doctor told you.
Yeah, that's what the doctor told me. That's right.
Well, Mr.
Has anything like that ever happened to you? Have you ever had been woozy at altitude?
No, but I fly. I'm a pilot, and I was one time we were flying to Colorado, and I was flying this airplane that we had to go on oxygen, and the winds were better at a higher altitude, so we climbed up, and I realized that we couldn't stay at that altitude if on oxygen. I had to descend because I didn't have enough oxygen. So I had a passenger in the back, so we figured out, you know, me and the co-pilot, that if we turned the oxygen off in the back guy, that we could make it at this altitude. So you know, it wasn't dangerous or anything, you know.
Now, what happened when you turned his oxygen off?
He was very quiet. He fell asleep. Wow. He fell asleep. He fell asleep. He slept the whole way.
Well, but
You know, he's the kind of guy you wanted to have him sleep the whole way. You know, it's like just.
but honestly, looking at it from another direction, isn't that attempted manslaughter? You just turn a guy's oxygen off? You're lucky you're not doing time, for the love of God.
He woke up.
He did wake up, yeah.
You know, when we were landing on descent, he. My hands are. He said, my hands. My hands are your old hands. He said, my hands are tingling. I slept the whole way. I said, must have been the way I was laying there. I said, yeah, must have been the way.
Oh, my God. Wasn't getting enough oxygen to his brain. Oh, my God.
I know.
Well, it's
Oh, God.
funny now.
It's funny now.
Yow.
No, it wasn't such a high altitude that it would have, you know.
Sure. That's
cause death or anything.
just the occasional numbness of extremities.
Oh, do you have a Kleenex? My
Yeah,
eyes
we'll
are
get you.
wrapped.
All right. The thing there. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with Tom Cruise, everybody. Is Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. You know, I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question? She's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions though, that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay. So I'm just telling you right now. Okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologise for that sincerely.
Good. Yes. No, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Come here. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Not very funny. Can you please?
No, it's okay. No, wait 1 second. What's so funny about that? It's ridiculous. Do you like making less of people? Is that what?
Somebody joked on me first, I'm apologise, I didn't think it would be taken like that. I thought it was summer joke, it was summer fun.
Is that you like doing mean things to people? That's really. Hey, no. Don't run away. Don't run away. No, let me have one. I don't care. That's incredibly rude. I'm here giving you an interview and answering your questions, and you do something really nasty. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. Well, you know what? You're a jerk.
Turn your cameras off there. Come closer.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Come closer.
Amazing.
He's in the building!
First of all, thanks for coming to my Legends Ball with Katie. Was that the best fun? Was that? Yes! What has happened to you? That's how I feel about it. Really? Something happened to you. Something happened to you.
I'm in love.
No, they're literally on the edge of their seats. They're like this. They're like this. No, I know what he's doing. He's processing. He's trying to figure out what he is going to tell, what he isn't going to tell. I've never seen you like that. I've never seen that. I know. We've never seen you behave this way before.
I know.
Have you ever felt this way before? You're gone. You are gone.
I'm not going to pretend.
I can see you're not. You know, Katie once told 17 magazine. Yes. The boy is gone. The boy is gone. He's gone. Okay.
This is something I have to discuss with her personally, but you know.
Do that. We're gonna do that. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Of course, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
How long? Okay. So what was the question again?
We're gonna talk about War of the Worlds. See, you just had to say her name. You just had to say her name. You just had to say her. But I was with Stephen and Kate, and they...
I'm a hugger, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I give it one of these.
Yes.
So that's what it's like with Steven and I, you know?
Yeah, and when you've been hugged by Tom, you've been hugged. I know she is here. Katie, I know you're here and you're watching. Look, Katie.
She's gonna run.
Katie,
She's gonna run.
just do us the favor.
I told her, look, you never know what I'm gonna do, Katie. That's the point.
Tom, tell her to come out. Tom, tell her to come out.
Katie, where are you? Go get her.
Good job. Hurry up. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
But if that's what Mr. Cruz has brought to this world, there still remains one more word on the man. Call it Tom Cruise on Tom Cruise, Scientologist.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn. And because a Scientologist does, he or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions. Being a Scientologist, you look at someone and you know absolutely that you can help them. So for me, it really is KSW, and it's just like, it's something that I don't mince words with that, you know, with anything that LRH does, but that policy to me has really gone, boy. And there's a time I went through and I said, you know what? When I read it, I just went, this is it. This is exactly it. Being a Scientologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help. But that's what drives me, is that I know that we have an opportunity and to really help for the first time, effectively change people's lives, and I am dedicated to that. I'm absolutely, uncompromisingly dedicated to that. The orgs are there to help, okay, but we as also the public, it's like, we have a responsibility. It's not just the orgs, it's not just Dave Miscavige, it's not just me, it's you, it's everyone out there kind of rereading KSW and looking at what needs to be done and saying, okay, am I gonna do it or am I not gonna do it? Period. And am I going to look at that guy, or am I too afraid because I have my own out ethics to put in someone else's ethics? And that's all it comes down to. Because I won't hesitate to put ethics in on someone else, you know, because I put it ruthlessly in on myself. And I think that I respect that in others. And, you know, I'm there to help, and we're here to help. And my opinion is that, look, you're either on board or you're not on board, okay? But just, if you're on board just like the rest of us, period. We are the authorities on getting people off drugs. We are the authorities on the mind. We are the authorities on improving conditions. Criminon, we can rehabilitate criminals. Way to happiness, we can bring peace and unite cultures. That once you know these tools and you know that they work, it's not good enough that I'm just doing okay. Traveling the world and meeting the people that I've met, you know, talking with these leaders in various fields. They want help, and they are depending on people who know and who can be effective and do it, and that's us. That is our responsibility to do that. It is the time now. Now is the time, okay? It is, being a Scientologist, people are turning to you, so you better know it. You better know it. And if you don't, you know, go and learn it, you know? But don't pretend you know it or for, you know, whatever. It's like, we're here to help. I mean, if you're a Scientologist, you see life, you see things the way they are. In all its glory, you know? All of its complexity. And the more you know as a Scientologist, you don't become overwhelmed by it. And, I went, you know, they said, so, like, have you met an SP? And I looked at them, you know, and I thought, oh, what a beautiful thing, because maybe one day it'll be like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day it will be that. Wow, SPs, like, they'll just read about those in the history books, you know? The thing is, I just go through that tech, and it's not how to run from an SP. It's PTSSP, how to shatter suppression, confront shatter suppression. You apply it, it's like, boom. Because they don't come up to me and do that. They won't do it to me. Not to my face, you know? Or anywhere in my vicinity where they feel they can be confronted, you know? It's not doing. Look, I wish the world was a different place. I'd like to go on vacation and go and romp and play and just do that. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I want it to be, okay? That's how I would, you know, there's times I'd like to do that, but I can't, because I know. So, you know, what you know, I have to do something about it. It's not, you know, you can sit here and wish it was different, and then you look at it and you go, okay, this is it, all right, okay, and there's that moment where you go, you know, I have to do something, don't I? Yeah, I really have to do it, because I can't live with myself if I don't, and that really is it. I don't care if someone thinks it's hard or easy. It's you're either helping and contributing everything you can, or you're not, okay? Because I'm carrying my load, all right? And not only that, as much as I'm carrying, I still feel like I gotta do more, all right? There's still a thing of, let's go. You can just see the look in their eyes. You know the ones that are doing, you know, and you know the spectators who are the ones that are going, well, it's easy for you, or what am I doing? And it's just, that thing is, I've canceled that in my area. It's like, man, you're either in or you're out.
that spectatorism, and it's something that is, we have no time for it now. So it's our responsibility to educate, create the new reality. You know, we have that responsibility to say, hey, this is the way it should be done, because we do it this way and people are actually getting better. And let's get it done. You know, let's really get it done and have enough love, compassion, and toughness that you're gonna do it. And do it right. And I have to tell you something, I really, it is, you know, it's rough and tumble, and it's wild and woolly, and it's a blast. It's a blast. It really is fun. Because damn it, there's nothing better than to going out there and fighting a fight, and suddenly you see things are better. I want to know that I've done everything I could every day. And I think about those people out there who are depending on us. And I think about that. And it does make me feel like, man, there's, you know, we got more work. I need more help. You know, get those spectators either in the playing field or out of the arena, you know. That's how I feel about it. I do what I can, and I do it the way I do everything. There's nothing part of the way for me. It's just... I feel, man, I feel fortunate, you know? I feel really fortunate, and I'm excited.
you just said something that made me think about something, and if you get out there and talk about it, it kind of takes away a lot of their power to make stuff up, doesn't it? Because you're telling the real story. Where does it leave them to go?
Yeah, but here's the point. It's I don't even get into that game. I'm just living my life, man. It's something that I'm just living my life. And I'm doing the best that I can and doing it in a way that I feel is right. And I think that I like hearing good news, you know? I like hearing, you know, if something good happens to you, it's nice. I like sitting here talking to you. I mean, before when we were, you know, I like hearing good news from people. And it's something that I'm happy.
So if you like hearing it, you must want to share it, too.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think I don't have any problems.
So when you hear the cynics, Mr. Cruise, and you've heard them, who say this is publicity for a movie, this relationship, or this is Tom Cruise in his 40s trying to become or stay relevant for a younger audience, and that's why he's out there talking about this relationship with this lovely young lady who happens to be sitting right over there. How do you respond to that?
You know what? There's always cynics. There's always has been. There always will be.
Do you laugh about it or just bug you?
No, you gotta just... I have never worried, Matt, about what other people think and what other people say.
Katie, close your ears for a second, okay? You have said that Katie is the real thing. She is sensational. She's magnificent. Can you explain to me what she's brought to your life that hasn't been brought to your life in the past?
You know, I don't want to compare things. I just say...
I don't mean that.
You know, no, because, you know, but what it is, it's that thing where you just, in life, when it just happens, man. You know, it's just, you meet someone, and it's, I can't even describe it.
Katie has mentioned that she is embracing, or at least exposing herself and opening herself up to Scientology. At this stage in your life, could you be with someone who doesn't have an interest?
You know, Scientology is something that you don't understand. It's like, you could be a Christian and be a Scientologist, okay? Scientology is something...
So it doesn't replace religion.
And it is a religion because it's dealing with the spirit, you know, you as a spiritual being. And it's something that there's tools that you have that you apply to your life.
Coming up, the mood changes a bit. You're going to see a fiery Tom Cruise talk about his attack on Brooke Shields, antidepressants, and Ritalin for kids. Here's a sneak peek. It's very impressive to listen to you because clearly you've done the homework and you know the subject.
And you should. And you should do that also because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough. You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm not prescribing Ritalin, Tom, and I'm not asking anyone else.
gets a little testy, and you'll see that coming up in our next half hour. And the tone of the discussion took a turn.
I've never agreed with psychiatry, ever. Before I was a Scientologist, I never agreed with psychiatry. And then when I started studying the history of psychiatry, I started realizing more and more why I didn't agree with psychiatry. And as far as the Brooke Shields thing is, look, you gotta understand, I really care about Brooke Shields. I think here's a wonderful and talented woman. And I want to see her do well. And I know that psychiatry is a pseudoscience.
But Tom, if she said that this particular thing helped her feel better, whether it was the antidepressant or going to a counselor or a psychiatrist, isn't that enough?
Matt, you have to understand this. Here we are today, where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know now that Ritalin is a street drug? Do you understand that?
The difference is this was not
Matt,
against
Matt,
her
I'm
will,
asking,
though.
Matt,
But this wasn't
Matt,
against Brooke's will.
Matt, I'm asking you a question.
I understand there's abuse of all of these things.
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do.
Aren't there examples, and might not Brooke Shields be an example of someone who benefited from one of those drugs?
All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. That's what it does. That's all it does. You're not getting to the reason why. There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
So postpartum depression to you is
Matt,
kind of a little psychological gobbledygook?
No, I did not say that.
I'm just asking, what would you call it?
Matt, that is the now you're talking about two different things.
But that's what she went on the antidepressant for.
But what happens, the antidepressant, all it does is mask the problem. There's ways of vitamins and through exercise and various things. I'm not saying that isn't real. That's not what I'm saying. That's an alteration of what I'm saying. I'm saying that drugs aren't the answer, that these drugs are very dangerous. They're mind-altering, antipsychotic drugs. And there are ways of doing it without that so that we don't end up in a brave new world. The thing that I'm saying about Brooke is that there's misinformation, okay? And she doesn't understand the history of psychiatry. She doesn't understand in the same way that you don't understand it, man.
But a little bit what you're saying, Tom, is you say you want people to do well, but you want them to do well by taking the road that you approve of, as opposed to a road that may work for them.
No, I'm not.
Well, if antidepressants work for Brooke Shields, why isn't that okay?
I disagree with it. And I think that there's a higher and better quality of life. And I think that promoting, for me personally, see, you're saying, what, I can't discuss what I want to discuss?
No, you absolutely can.
But Matt, you're going in and saying that I can't discuss that.
I'm only asking, isn't there a possibility that, do you examine the possibility that these things do work for some people? That yes, there are abuses, and yes, maybe they've gone too far in certain areas. Maybe there are too many kids on Ritalin. Maybe electric shock
Too many kids on Ritalin, Matt.
I'm just saying, but aren't there examples where it works?
Matt, you don't even, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. If you start talking about chemical imbalance, you have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, Matt. Okay? That's what I've done. And you go and you say, where's the medical test? Where's the blood test that says how much Ritalin you're supposed to get?
It's very impressive to listen to you, because clearly you've done the homework and you know the subject.
And you should. And you should do that also, because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough. You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm
really...
not prescribing Ritalin, Tom, and I'm not asking anyone else to do it.
Well,
I'm
you are.
simply
You're saying no.
I know some people who seem to have been helped by it.
But you're saying, but it's like, this is a very important issue.
This is a very,
and you know what? And you're here on the Today Show,
right?
And to talk about it in a way of saying, well, isn't it okay, and being reasonable about it when you don't know, and I do. I think that you should be a little bit more responsible in knowing what it is, because you communicate to people.
But you're now telling me that your experiences with the people I know, which are zero, are more important than my experiences.
What do you mean by that?
You're telling me what's worked for people I know, or hasn't worked for people I know, and I'm telling you I've lived with these people, and they're better.
So you're advocating it?
I am not. I'm telling you, in their case, in their individual case, it worked. I am not going to go out and say, get your kids on Ritalin, it's the cure-all and the end-all.
Matt, but here's the point. What is an ideal scene in life? Okay? Ideal scene is someone not having to take antipsychotic drugs.
I would agree.
Okay, so now you look at it and you go, okay, a departure from that ideal scene is someone taking drugs. Okay? And then you go, okay, what is the theory and the science behind that justifies that?
Let me take this more general, because I think you and I could go around in circles on this for a while, and I respect your opinion on it. Do you want more people to understand Scientology? Would that be a goal of yours?
You know what? Absolutely, of course. You know,
how do you go about that?
You just communicate about it, and the important thing is, like, you and I talk about it, whether it's, look, if I want to know something, I go and find out, because I don't talk about things that I don't understand. I'll say, you know what? I'm not so sure about that. I'll go find more information about it, so I can come to an opinion based on the information that
I think if you're going to be a really good stunt double, you have to really become one with the actor. You have to walk like the actor, talk like the actor. I don't think of myself as a stunt double, really. It's more like I'm a stunt one bull. I think I have a pretty good idea of what Tom does or doesn't want to.
How's that kick coming along, all right?
He doesn't think you'd go with a kick.
What? That's...
The way we work is he'll go through sometimes and do the scene, and it's helpful for me because it gives me that outside perspective.
You know what? I think we have too many kicks in the movie, Tom. I mean, I never say to lose face, but I think you got... You know, like, how many times can we look at you kicking a guy and then getting kicked in the face? You know what? Kick. Let's call it... You know what? Let's call it kicking impossible.
You know, he's harmless. He's harmless.
I mean, I'm always thinking, I'm always brainstorming ways to make the fight look better.
Some of the people find him a little frightening.
It's hard for both of us, really. Can you do another? Thanks. I mean, maybe it's a little harder for Tom, but it's probably almost as hard for me. I'll get doubles, all right?
Yeah. Okay.
You know, sometimes it's a little crazy to think about, and that's when, I don't know, it's kind of like we almost finish each other's sentences, kind of.
I mean, I don't think we've ever finished each other's sentences.
Can we talk a bit about the zero-G plane?
Yes, please.
You see this in the trailer and you go, okay, well, that was CGI. They tweaked a few things, right? I've seen the behind-the-scenes footage now, and you actually got a plane, aimed it for the sun, and shot a zero-G like sequence.
It was really fun doing that.
And that was your pitch, is that right?
I've been wanting to do a sequence in zero-G, and real zero-G, you know, and so we started working on it, and I said to the studio, I said, we got to do this as zero-G for real. And they looked at me like, what? Come on. I said, no, it's got to be a real plane crash. And they're like, what are you saying? I said, no, we could build the set inside this airplane, zero-G airplane in France, in Bordeaux. And we could shoot, Annabelle and I, you know, we could do the whole thing. And I said, it'd be so cool, you know, and for an audience, you can't beat it. It'll make it feel so authentic and terrifying for an audience. Of course, then I had to convince Annabelle that it was going to be okay, and, you know, how great it's going to be, and, you know, for her to be able to talk about it, and if she lives through it, how exciting it'll be for her children in the future, and grandchildren, and the whole family, and everyone's going to think like she's just the coolest, you know.
You pushed all your chips in and then taken her chips and gone.
Yes, that's exactly it. I was like, Annabelle, come here, Annabelle, you know.
You're going to love what I got planned.
You're going to love this, you know.
There is one film of yours, I hate to call you out, I don't think you do the stunt for this one.
Tell me.
You leap out of your car, you do a forward flip, and you have an Uzi in each hand, and you're blasting this assault helicopter. The helicopter explodes, and you land in your blue velvet suit with ruffles at the top, in Austin Powers in Goldmember.
Actually,
I don't think that was you.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah, baby.
You caught me out. You caught me out. Totally caught me out.
You're driving a Union Jack Jaguar.
Yes.
And apparently that wasn't you.
I love those films. They called me up and said, would you like to play this thing? Like, I went in and did that for just a couple of hours.
Shall we shag now or shag later?
Oh, Austin, behave.
I don't know why they didn't make another one of those. I think they're classic.
As a beginning of a movie, it is hysterical.
It was fun.
Unbelievably
funny.
That was
really fun.
Are you aware of the Tom Cruise clinging off things meme?
No.
So I've got this on my phone. Hopefully you'll love it. But essentially, this is Tom Cruise. You were hanging off Free Willy there. There you are. That's you hanging off a cat.
That's fantastic.
This one, there's Darth Maul falling to his doom. And there you are.
I'm hanging
off the side. I was obsessed with this.
Oh my God, why hasn't anyone shown me that before? That is hilarious.
Well, you haven't seen anything yet, because here's you hanging off Nick Cage.
Is that...
Can I get some water for Mr. Cruise, please?
Please give me some water.
Here you go.
Oh my God, thank you very much, thank you.
That film has like 4 humongous stunt sequences, and that's what they took on. It's so...
Oh my God, that's so funny.
It's so good. I'm going to send you a link of my favourites.
Please, please.
I love it. We've talked about a lot of your big ticket stunts, but I'd like to bring up a couple of the kind of smaller ones. My mum always told me, you do not slide on the floor in your socks.
Yes.
And I remember saying, but Tom Cruise does it. Now, that's not a rule for life, but I think there are quite a few upset mothers.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I said listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll.
The pool trick shots in Colour of Money, I was like, you can practice all you like hanging off a plane, but if you're there with a whole crew, camera operators, all the rest, and you cannot put the black in that hole.
All in one shot. I trained for like 7 months in pool.
Including the...
Yeah, I added that. I was just practicing with nunchucks, just on like learning nunchucks. And one day in rehearsal, I was just taking the pool cue and just moving it around like that. And I was like, Marty, what do you think, you know? And so he added that in and made that kind of a character thing. And I wanted the Vince t-shirt. And Vincent, who's not really the brightest bulb in the lamp, do you know what I mean? With hair that's guaranteed up to 90 miles an hour.
And his hair was perfect.
And his hair, exactly. I told the hair person, I said, look, got to be guaranteed up to 90 miles an hour. It's got to be like 3 inches high, combed across, and the reason he has Vincent on there is so that he can remember his name, you know?
Because of the way news cycles work these days, can I just ask you, would you mind confirming that Top Gun 3 is in the works?
You know, I can't confirm Top Gun 3.
But 2
is like, that's in the pipeline.
If you need any practice with the...
High five? Well, now, because it's 2, it's going to be
Yeah, it should be like patty cake, right?
Yeah, exactly. We gotta step it up, you know? 2's got to be bigger than 1, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It's been more than an absolute pleasure.
For me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really, real pleasure.
Thank
It's always
you.
great to see you. Thank you.
Pan, this is November 4, 09er.
What the hell?
Ah! Ah! Ah!
No.
We are the gold standard. You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. And anyone on this crew does it. That's it. And you too, and you too, and you. Don't you ever do it again. That's it. No apologies. You can tell it to the people that are losing their homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table or pay for their college education. That's what I sleep with every night. and the future of this industry. So I'm sorry, I'm beyond your apologies. I have told you, and now I want it. And if you don't do it, you're out. We are not shutting this movie down. Is it understood? If I see it again, you're gone. And so are you. So you're going to cost him his job. And I see it on the set, you're gone. And you're gone. That's it. Am I clear? Do you understand what I want? Do you understand the responsibility that you have? Because I will deal with your reason. And if you can't be reasonable, and I can't deal with your logic, you're fired. That's it. That is it. I trust you guys to be here. That's it. That's it, guys.
You ate all your popcorn already.
You can ask the flower